Good morning, Paulsicans and Hexicans and entrepreneurs alike. Good morning. This is the DeFi Crypto Alliance Show, the loudest megaphone in Pulse Chain land. I'm Corey Geary, and I'm super pumped to be here with you guys today on this beautiful Monday. Man, what a Monday it is, too. A lot of exciting things going on out there in this world, and just super stoked to be here in 2026 with you guys, the best FA community ever, when we are doing our best to try to bridge the gap between the crypto space, the best damn crypto space, Pulse Chain guys, and the entrepreneurial world. And we're doing our best to say crypto is a wealth creation tool, and real estate and other real world assets are wealth preservation tools. And let's learn how to utilize both of these in the right context to be able to change the trajectory of our family trees and break the chains and curse of mediocrity forevermore to change our family tree. There's always that one risk taker in every wealthy family who went out there and paved a new path for legacy wealth for his family. And that's what we're doing here. So a lot of exciting stuff going on, guys. Pulse Chain saw a little bit of a price pump over the last few days. Nothing crazy, but I feel like these zones could be the bottom. So I know, yeah, you're probably like, Corey, you've said bottom for the last 2 years. That's true. But I do feel like this zone is it. I feel like 2026 Pulse Chain is going to have its moment in the sun. I feel like it's going to see a time where it really shines. And I really believe that, Richard is waiting for the opportune time to start injecting liquidity again. He's tried before a couple times and it just gets sold off, which, in any business decision, you would say if you inject liquidity into a business and it doesn't work, well, then you're going to pull back and find another source or another way to, or strategy to inject that liquidity to make it sustain. So he's waiting for the opportune time. I feel like it's going to be when the Bitcoin dominance breaks down into, all new lows, which we need. We need to get it down below 50 before we really start seeing the altcoin season and these things really starting to take place. And in fact, speaking of altcoin season, a lot of interesting things are happening. Apparently, the Jerome Fred Powell, Mr. Fed, Jerome Powell is the DOJ is going after him for not complying to Donald Trump's interest rate, suggestions. It's quite crazy when I'm seeing all over the news here today. And DOJ charges the Fed for ignoring Trump's preferred interest rates. U.S. dollar is plummeting as we speak because of this, and so we'll see what transpires out of this. I have no idea, what this really means for the long run. But obviously, Trump is doing his best to try to make the economy freaking go burr because he will have midterms coming up, and he wants to make sure he is he's got a big ego like Richard Hart, right? He wants to make sure he's the best man in the presidential history as far as the economy, and when he leaves, that this thing is doing amazing. So we'll see. But this is interesting that he's gone after Fed Jerome Powell, and I don't know what's going to come of this. I know. I feel like there has to be something down the road, whether it's now and Fed goes, okay, let's just turn the fucking money printer on. Trump is grumpy. He's coming after us. Let's just do what he says that we need to do. Or does, the DOJ arrest Jerome Powell and then does Donald Trump put somebody in there who's more money printer friendly? I don't know. Either way, I think it's May. His 10 years up, his time is up. And so it's not that far away if you really think about it. It's only a few months away. One way or another, we're going to be seeing a new Fed. So whether it be sooner than later, if it's sooner, then maybe we get a altcoin season literally in the next month or two. I don't know. I'm just guessing here, just throwing what the market is throwing us, but it is quite wild what we're seeing. And I don't know. It's interesting times that we are going through, but the dollar's falling fast, which is great. And this is usually good for risk on assets like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, like Pulse Chain, like any of this stuff. And Richard, last time when Hex pumped its 10,000x, the Bitcoin dominance was below 50. Maybe we get down in those levels again. He has to know that, we have to be in a very risk on environment for these type of assets to sustain any kind of growth. It's just the way it goes. We didn't see an altcoin season in 2025, period. There was nothing like that at all. It was a Bitcoin only cycle because of institutional money. And there was a lot of institutional money that was buying Bitcoin in 2025. Looks like Bitcoin topped in the November of 25. And so we should see a bottom sometime in Q4 of 26 for Bitcoin. We have seen before in the past, though, after Bitcoin top, altcoin seasons come to fruition. I am now in the camp and believe that altcoin season does not follow or have anything to do with the 4-year cycles like Bitcoin does. Bitcoin follows its own 4-year cycle trend right on cue, and it has ever since its inception. Altcoin season is always kind of found its different place in the market where it transpires, right? Where it happens. And so I feel like there's no rhyme or reason for an altcoin season, and it can come at any time or any moment in the cycle. So will this be the moment? Will this be the catalyst? I don't know. Will the money printer get turned on out of frustration because he doesn't want to go to jail? This is crazy. I have no idea what this means, but we're going to sit back and watch. We're all just viewers of the movie. Once again, this stuff, the script has already been written. We're just participants. And we got to have the faith and play our part so that way we get our rewards. That's all it is. And it takes a lot of faith and a lot of believing to be able to follow along with the plan. But I know the plan. So it's just me. Once again, it's not financial advice. I come on here and just spit my mind. And, you guys do what you want with your money. You guys push the buy and sell button. I'm just a guy here on the TV screen. I have no idea. And a lot of the stuff that I say, I get wrong, right? So the things I do get wrong, though, I try to take, stock of, and I try to learn from my mistakes and move on and not make the same mistakes over again. Very, very important, right? I did that for New Year's. I sat down. I mentioned on the show already, but I sat down New Year's and I analyzed the entire year, took stock of the entire year and all my wins and all the things I did good that made money, that did well for me in life, whether it's money, love, my spiritual connection with God, all the things that I strive for to get 1% better every single day. I took stock of, okay, what did I do good at that? And how can I reinforce those habits and make sure I do the same thing again for 2026? And then I also looked at everything I did that lost me money, that got me disconnected from God, that got me further away from my goals, or maybe with health or whatever it is, or with my family, and the things that basically were losses, but they're not. I didn't take them as losses. I took them as learning lessons. And so I analyzed what I did wrong and how I can learn from those mistakes and grow from those mistakes and never repeat them again, and reinforce a good habit out of those mistakes moving forward. And that's what I did on New Year's Day. It was awesome. Plus, I wrote my January letter, which you guys, if you know that, you can go back and watch the show. I described exactly how I do the January letter, which has been awesome. I read it every single night before I go to bed to reinforce these beliefs and goals in me that I'm working towards all throughout 2026. So a lot of goals. And once again, this crypto stuff is great. I love it. Pulse Chain could go boom this year, or it could not. Mr. Jerome Powell could turn the money printer on now because he's scared, or he cannot. Like, we don't know, and we don't have control over these things, right? We don't have control over these things in the marketplace. We're only participants. That's it. And so since we don't control them, we don't put all our eggs in that basket. We make sure that we're doing things in life that produce results in revenue and wealth and wins that we do control For example, like our health, that's an easy one because we can kind of analyze that by looking in the mirror and seeing how our health is, or like doing our blood work and looking at the biomarkers and going through, okay, what are the things I need to work on? Like for me, I have to really watch my hemoglobin A1Cs, which is, your pre-diabetic markers. I got to watch those, make sure they stay in range. I've got it in range now, which is awesome. And then also my LDLs and ApoBs. I got to watch those and keep those in range. And I'm always checking them, every month, every other month or so, to make sure I'm in range or close in range and getting always a little bit better, right? And how do I do that? With the right supplements, with the right peptides, with the right bioregulators, and exercise every single day. Like today was a cardio day. I ran 4.5 miles outside where it was 40 degrees outside. I ran 4.5 miles. It was awesome. Okay. It's a cardio day. Tomorrow, I'll be going to the gym, and tomorrow is shoulders and triceps day. I'll spend an hour at the gym working on those two sets of muscle groups and reinforcing those every single week after week, all year long. And I have goals and outcomes of those goals written down in my January letter, which I'm reading out loud every single night, and it's absorbing my subconscious, and I'm going through the law of attraction and pulling myself towards those goals. So very cool stuff. Hope some of you guys did that. If you didn't, no big deal. It's just what I do. It's not it's not I don't know what kind of advice that would be. Life advice? It's not life advice. There we go. You guys do what you want with your life. I just tell you what I do with mine and how I conduct. So, but let's go ahead and look at the secret chart. That's why you guys come here. It's all you give a shit about. You want to come on here and see what we are doing on the secret chart. We call it the secret chart because no one ever talks about this except for a couple key influencers. But rarely do I ever see anyone talking about this chart and what the significance of it is. And I think it's very significant as far as crypto is concerned. So we're going to take a look at it. Once again, most of you guys know what it is. You guys are not new here. This is pulse measured in ETH terms on the weekly with a line chart. Let's look at the candles though. Yep, there we go. Candles looking good. Last couple of weeks, it's moving up against ETH, which is very interesting. We'll see if that trend continues. Once again, I want to see, let me just kind of shrink it a little bit. I want to see the trend actually can come up like this, come back down. I know you don't like it coming back down, but I want to see a higher low and then go up to create that W. We talk about this all the time on the show. We need market structure. If it were just to go up and do a V recovery or V bottom, that is not sustainable. We need to see good market structure. So from this point, I would like to see, unfortunately, I'd like to see it come down, make that higher low, and then work itself out of that range and continuing up into February, March, April, and so forth. And that might line us up perfectly with either Mr. Powell wants to, I don't know, resign or turn the money printer back on out of fear. I don't think he will do that, but who knows? Or, we'll go all the way to May and his tenure's over, and then we put somebody else who is money printer friendly into office there. And then, it's, money printer go burn, and then we'll see what happens after that. So I don't know. It's very interesting. We need to see the business ISM above 52 for altcoin season to transpire. And we need to see Bitcoin dominance below 50 for altcoin season to transpire. And then I think we might see, maybe, not financial advice, some fireworks on these very suppressed assets that we know and love, Pulse. So, which is just an altcoin, right? We're playing with these altcoins. We're learning as we're going how to participate in these altcoins. And I've learned a lot of lessons, right? For me, it's one of the biggest lessons is, Bitcoin goes up for 3 years, down for one. Altcoins go down for 3 years and not even up for one yet. We haven't gotten to that. It could literally just keep bleeding out until the environment is a risk-on environment. And so that's a very hard learning lesson where I will not, for me in my portfolio, I'll be mainly Bitcoin for the most part after this next altcoin season, I'm not going to capitulate what I got now, but I will be a very Bitcoin focused person in this next part of the cycle. So when Bitcoin bottoms in Q4, which historically that's always what it does, I will be very heavy Bitcoin at that time. So at that point, I'll still be playing with altcoins, and Pulse Chain is my favorite altcoin, along with Hex, Pulse Hex, and everything inside this ecosystem. Although I don't play much with the meme coins or anything else going on, I only stick to the cores. That will be my portfolio moving forward: is the cores, Bitcoin, and maybe ETH. That's it. So I'm going to play the game. And other than that, it'll be investing back in my business and so forth, and making sure that I don't have to rely on this stuff for my success and my peace of mind. So it's my thoughts of the day. Once again, maybe Pulse Chain go boom if we can get this freaking money printer back on. That's the key. That is the key, guys. That's it. Shit. Got to get that business ISM up, because if it goes up, more jobs are going to happen. There's more promotions. There's more money coming into the marketplace. And where does that money go? Well, retail loves to gamble. So they might go to the casino. They might go buy altcoins. Almost the same shit. So that's what we're going to see. 45 of you guys watching. Got 19 on YouTube. Smash the like. Hit the subscribe if you like the content. I'm back in the hopper again. I should be able to stream 2 or 3 times this week. And I'm going to start being more consistent moving forward. As long as I'm at home. And they got 26 of you guys on Twitter. Give me a retweet if you like this stuff. Help the exposure. And if you guys really want to help out the show, come over to YouTube, smash the like, hit the subscribe if you already haven't. Statistically, I look at the stats, and it says 50% of you guys who watch my show don't subscribe, which is weird. Come on. Just subscribe. Help the algorithm. Shit. You don't got to watch every show. But if you like this stuff, come watch every show. So let's check in with you guys, see how we're doing. Visual Pate 1405. Hey, man, what's going on, man? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. You're first. You're number 1. First to class today. It's awesome. Valpyr 7097. I'm working on growing my English tutoring. I love it while I wait for Pulse Chain. Pulse S grows by the summer. I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think that's about what we're going to see. I feel like that's what is lining up with the macro. Once again, we can't rely on that stuff, but it looks that way, like we're going in that direction. And there's a small chance, like I said, that maybe old Jerome Powell, who knows, he's scared shitless and he goes and turns the money printer on to please Donald Trump. I have no idea. I have no idea what kind of ego Mr. Powell has. This is a very interesting time where the president of the United States is sending the DOJ after the Fed. That's just crazy, man. I never thought I'd live to see this, but I don't know what's going to come out of this. It'll be very interesting. I don't know. But the dollar doesn't like it, which is usually a good thing for risk-on assets. I don't know. Summer 2026, aka new Fed chairman. Yeah, exactly. 2000 stimulus checks. Yep. Quantitative easing and rate cuts. I believe it, man. That's where I think we're heading regardless. And it can happen a little earlier if these conditions line up right. I don't know. I think you're hitting the nail on the head. And it'll be very interesting. It could happen maybe right around when Bitcoin's bottoming. Wouldn't that be interesting? Altcoin season and Bitcoin bottoming at the same time. I don't know. I'd be like, okay, which one do I pick and buy? At the time, you got to buy altcoins. That's for sure. If you have an altcoin season, you got confirmation, you got to go into altcoins, man. Because you can get yourself a nice 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x maybe in some of this stuff. Or in Bitcoin, maybe you get a 5x. What I like about Bitcoin is it's almost a guaranteed 5x. I like those guarantees on my money. Where this stuff, can I do a 50x? Absolutely. But there's no guarantee unless we get an altcoin season confirmation. Then it kind of locks it in. Pulse Chain saying game 6456. Cut the money printer. Cut the money printers on, please. We are still DCAing. Let's go. Absolutely. I think we're DCAing the bottom here. I don't know, man. It looks like we're trying to make some fucking market structure. Come on. Let's do it, guys. This is a good place. People want to sell here no matter what. In this range, you're at a loss. minus the guys who were in Hex, who got the massive like 1,000x, and then they sacrifice, those guys would still be in profit. But I don't know how many of those are left. It'd be an interesting thing to analyze. I'm not good at blockchain analysis. Somebody really good at that would have to go in there and look at that. But minus those guys, everyone else is at a loss right now. So even the big whales who sacrifice it, they sacrifice USDC or anything else, any other crypto asset, they're at a loss, including, I think good old Rackham. I don't think Rackham rode the 10,000x up on Hex. He came in after that. So if he's selling right now, which is he does sell a lot, he's still at a loss. So something to think about. Monik Shish, good day, all. Good day to you. Good day to you. Thank you. Susie Q. Hi, wonderful Corey. Hi, wonderful Susie Q. Thank you so much. Appreciate you and everything you do for the community. Vishal Pate. Hey, way back when RH was talking about the sack face, he often talked about tax mitigation. Do you know where I can read up the polls to say I want to be prepared? So like the best, okay, twofold. I don't know where you're located. So that's huge. There for a while, he was talking about like Puerto Rico being a place of like where you could go and kind of avoid taxes. In fact, I moved to Puerto Rico and I posted it on Twitter, and RH followed me because of that. He followed when he was following people. He don't follow me no more, obviously, but he followed me because I moved to Puerto Rico and I posted on Twitter. So moving to a place that has a, tax shelter is one method. Two, you can take all that money and gains, buy real estate, stuff like that, and try to offset the taxes through real estate, because real estate has a bunch of tax mitigation strategies around it. Three, if you're here locally or in the United States, you can use the DeFi Wealth Trust. It's in the show notes, www.defiwealthtrust.com. It's a tax-deferred sales trust where you can sell your assets, go into another asset class or another asset inside the asset class and pay no taxes. They're deferred. Okay. And that's what I'll be using once I'm out of the Puerto Rico jurisdiction, which will be the end of this year. So I'll be using the DeFi Wealth Trust so I can continue to grow my wealth tax deferred. Now, if you take money out to go buy a Corvette, take that vacation to Europe, that money there will be taxed. But as long as your money's working for you, you pay no taxes. And so once again, DeFiWealthTrust.com, book a call. That's with Chris. Go to that URL there. You can book a call with them. It's completely free. And it's free to set up the trust. You pay some fees once the trust is initiated. But to have the trust in your back pocket and ready to go, it's completely free. So if you're going to, create it. If you don't use it, no harm, no foul. If you use it, great. I'll be using it, like I said, after this year. Chris Freeman, what up, my man? How you doing? Morning, Corey. Good morning to you, man. It's always good to see you. Thank you so much for coming. Hex Wizard 369, what's up with the trophies, my man? We are going to win, I promise you. But go win in your life first, like I always say in the show. And then if Pulse Chain happens to win this year, it's just a fucking icing on the cake. That's the way to play the game. It's how to be risk averse. Another 555 stake. Let's go. Popcalypse 1590 doing the 555 stake. Man, you can get a lot of Hex right now and a lot of T shares at this price. If that's your shtick, man. I don't do 555 stakes. I do have them in some HSI stakes, but it's not my shtick. So, but I do have some in some HSI stakes. Hexwords at 369. Crypto Storm is coming. 2026 biggest bull cycle in history. Could be, man. A lot of stuff going on in the marketplace that could kind of spark that fire. I don't know. We're in very interesting times. That's for effing sure. I'll tell you that. This whole Jerome Powell thing and DOJ thing, man, I don't know. Like, I didn't even know he could do that. Like, that's interesting. I know the Fed is owned by, like, the banking cartel, right, of the world. Like, this is very interesting that Donald Trump is going after the Fed. I didn't even know he could do that. Like, that's crazy to me. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting times this year. Buckle in for a wild ride, one way or the other. I'll tell you that. I want to see it come down because ETH is pumping hard. Okay, yeah, I agree. ETH is pumping hard. I think Pulse will come back for a lower high where it's at on the charts right now when you compare it to ETH. I don't know. Once again, I don't know. But I want that for market structure. At that point, we can really see some things go, they can see some fireworks from there, assuming we're in the right market conditions. Hex Wizard, Clarity Act, Genius Act, money printing, stimulus checks. I know, major adoption incoming. A lot of things lining up this year, and I think by May, man, it's going to be an interesting month or first half of the year. Great ideas, absolutely. Just don't don't capitulate and get flooded out. Don't fall for the woe is me guys. Misery loves company. Don't fall for those guys, right? They just want you to be miserable with them. So don't capitulate out. Stick with it. Do what you got to do. Obviously, if you got to sell some because you're overexposed and you can't pay your rent or mortgage, you got to do what you got to do. Do it. That comes first. Always take care of yourself. Take care of your family. It's very important. That's more important than this shit. All right? I love this shit, but that's more important. Always remember that. Always remember that. Take care of yourself and family first. You hear these stories of people committing suicide and all this horrors, and that's because they didn't put them and their families first, and they were overexposed. Do not do that, I beg you. We do not know the outcome of 2026. Regardless, we are in a market that we are just participants of. We can't control any of this shit. We could have World War III this year and nukes go off and completely destroy 2026. We do not know. I don't think that will happen. It won't, but you need to prepare yourself. So don't be overexposed to a place where, you're hurting yourself and your family. Please, I beg you guys and everybody who watches my show to do and invest responsibly. So important. And in fact, that's what happens to these woe is me guys and misery loves company guys. They were overexposed. And that's why they're woe is me, because they had to capitulate because they were overexposed. And now all they could do is just hate. Don't be that guy or girl, right? Don't. Hexworth of Future Science. Subscribe, goddammit. Please just help out the algorithm a little. We'll keep bringing the good word of entrepreneurship, of good mental state of being, good physical state of being. That's right. Going to the gym. And, talk a little about crypto too. This stuff is fun. And what may or may not happen. It's good to come on here and speculate with you guys. I have no effing clue. I have no clue, but hey, we stay in this shit long enough, something's going to happen. That's a fact. Asset Thunder 9613. Hey, Corey, what's going on, Asset Thunder? Thank you so much. I appreciate you showing up. Absolutely. Work for crypto. Yeah, that's what we do. That's how we DCA. Good to see you streaming again. Yeah, man, last week I was at a mastermind. I did stream one day. Streamed on Monday, I think it was. And then I was in an event all week. It was a great event. And I love masterminds, guys, because masterminds, you grow from them. You grow spiritually, mentally. If you're at a health mastermind, it could be physically, and then your business grows a lot from these masterminds. And I've been in masterminds for the last 12 years, 13 years. And that's been like one of the main things that have contributed to my success in life is going to masterminds and copying and pasting what other people have already done to be successful. That's it. I don't recreate the wheel. I just go in and I see someone else has made millions of dollars from his strategy and I copy it and I paste it. That's it. It's a secret sauce. Work for cryptos, kneel for T-shares. Okay. What is up, my man? Good to see you. I know, but the YouTube wants to use our handles now instead of like our stage names that we told it to use. And I don't know why that is. Or if we could change that in the setting, maybe they have it somewhere in the back end where we can change it back. I have no idea. And you get more information about it, let me know. But I don't like that it uses our handles. Like I like to be able to use what we were able to assign it a name when we go on shows and talk that people can see who we are. It's interesting. Yesterday I worked out for the first time in a long time. That's great. Now you got to make it a consistent plan, right? I got to keep it going. So like I do 4 gym workouts a week and I do 2 cardio sessions a week. So I do six workouts in a week with a 1 rest day. And if I'm traveling, sometimes I'll give up a cardio day. I always make my gym priority. So my resistance training's priority and then my cardio second. But I always try to get 4 resistance training in, 2 cardio every single week. And then of course, supplementation, peptides and bioregulators, and just eating right. Most of the time, you're allowed to cheat. Sometimes, of course, it's about just being most of the time right with eating, and then you'll be on point. 2026, I'm definitely focused on my workout in English, tutor, then crypto at second place so I can get the win. Boom, baby. That's the secret sauce. Nobody what AK the Corgi winning all-time approach. That's right. That is the winning sauce. And you won't ever fall into the misery loves company by playing the game this way. You'll never be overexposed. You'll never be in a place where you're mentally effed by the marketplace. And this is just the way to play the game. So it, man, you hit the fucking nail on the head. I love it. Acid Thunder, YouTube are a pain in the arse. It is, dude. It is, man. And then they like to shut shit down and silence you. And, well, man, there's so much, dude. I remember back in the day, this is a long time ago, me and Dane was like the guy who, I don't know if you guys remember, he was doing the show with me for a while. We would use his YouTube and use the StreamYard. And one time he got shut down because we said something that YouTube didn't like, and they shut his account down. And so we switched over to my account. It's like walking on glass, man. You got to be careful. I will work out 2 to 3 times a week. That's a perfect place to start. And you will see, like, if you stay consistent, even twice a week, if you stay consistent over about 6 months, you will see massive results. Massive. And you'll feel 100 times better. I used to wake up with this like morning fog, like this cloud I couldn't shake every single morning. I had to get a bunch of coffee in me, and eventually throughout the day, then I would shake it, right? And then I have a coffee crash afterwards. Like literally, like I don't have any of that no more. It's amazing. I wake up, I'm like, like I'm good to go. Like you'll feel so much better. Is Zane going to come back at one point? Not streaming. He would definitely come on and do like, a cameo here or there. Like come on and just like do a stream, but not consistently. Nah, it's just not his thing. I'm an extrovert. He's an introvert. And so he don't like being in the spotlight all the time, which is perfectly fine, right? He does, in our business and what we do, he's like what we call the integrator. He's got the integrator mindset, which is needed in every business. The integrator as far as systems and processes and SOPs. And I'm very visionary. I go out there and create a mess and the dancing monkey. So blood flow is good for the brain. That's right. Cardio does amazing for that. So 100% thanks. Appreciate the 6-month plan. That's it. Keep on track. You will feel phenomenal. So, all right, guys, I'm going to hop off. 86 of you guys. Let's go. Not bad on Twitter. Give me a retweet if you like this shit. If you really like it, come over and like and subscribe to the YouTube. If you're 19 over on YouTube, that's not too shabby. You like to see those numbers come up, but we get the replays out there. Smash the like, hit the subscribe. I promise not to flood your inbox like Sami does. I love Sami, but you get 2 or 3 shows out of me a week. So come on here and speak my mind and connect with you guys. This is how I connect with the community. It's coming on stream, reading your comments, seeing where you guys are at. I love, like, my audience here is such in a good place mentally compared to like the rest of the ecosystem. You guys are amazing. We attract our own tribe in life. And I feel like I've done that here with the show with you guys. I've got the cream of the crop out of the community. Come in and, just shoot the shit with me every day on my show. So it's awesome. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And before we hop off, Acid Thunder says, both you were good on together, but all good. Yeah, I agree. We have good banter back and forth. And I'll get him back on for some cameos here in the future. It's just, it's not his shtick. So Once again, smash the like, hit the subscribe. If you don't want to pay any taxes, DeFiWealthTrust.com. Book a call with Chris. It's free. And, once again, I know you might be like, oh, well, Pulse Chain might never go this year. Well, set the trust up. It's free. And then if it does go, you have it in your back pocket. That's key. So, guys, I'll see you later this week. I'll probably stream again on Thursday-ish. So by Thursday, Friday, I'm going to try to fit 3 in this week. There'll be at least 2. I'll try to do 3. So I'll see you guys. Peace.